Mark, I don't want to take up too much of your time here tonight, but I do want to, and please, I hope you grant this request, because this is my absolute all-time favorite. I've repeated the story, and I cannot repeat it like you. It was a chapter in one of your books, and if I'm not mistaken, now I'm going to screw it up. I think it was on the 8th day God created baseball. I could be wrong about the book.
Made baseball, yeah. Made baseball.
Okay, great. The chapter was Mistake by the Lake. Granny gets cold cocked.
Granny gets cold cocked, right?
That's all-time favorite.
Older. Well, that was kind of interesting because Cleveland, back in the day in the old municipal stadium, it seated 90,000+, and we used to go in there where they had 8,000, and nobody wanted to play in Cleveland anyway or go to a ball game. But you'd see 8,000 people in there during batting practice, and you say, Jesus Christ, there's a bunch of ants in here, because it was just like scattered. So anyway, when the game started, it was just still scattered. But twice a year, they had where they packed the stadium. They had 60,000+, and they would give cars away every inning. So you had all these fans come out of the woodwork, in Cleveland. And, Cleveland was the river burned down there for one thing. I asked the cab driver when I came in one time. I flew into Cleveland and was to meet the club. And so I take the cab, and we're going over right about that time, we're going over that river right there. And I said, so what's so hot about the Cleveland here? He said, well, we got a river. Matter of fact, this is the river where it burns, Or there might be a fire on it right now. I said, well, that's really good. It's cool. So anyway, I gathered from that, that Cleveland was a real interesting place. And the bullpen had a pillbox down there. It was a concrete, and it was built like in the 20s or 30s or something. And, all they did was pour concrete into this place, and they kept pouring and pouring and pouring, didn't stop, and, but so they had this pillbox down there, and it's great because the night that I'm going to tell you about, we really needed that pillbox. So we're on the opposite side. We're on the third base side. The bullpen's on the first base side, right above Cleveland's dugout, about 65, 70 feet or so, somewhere in there. But we're catty corner from our dugout, so they can see us, we can see them, which is kind of bad sometimes. Because I was always trading balls for dogs all the time, and stuff like that. And we come down to the seventh inning and want to get somebody loose, and are there any balls left in the ball bag? So sometimes you run out of balls, But anyway, we're sitting over there, and we go across the field to our the bullpen right before the game, and we had not been used very much in about 5 days. Our starters had been really doing the job. Well, that night, Dennis Leonard was going to be a little bit off, and Larry Gurr was going to come in the sixth inning, and I got up, and he got into trouble, and so Galen Cisco, the pitching coach, goes down and says, "Hey, get country going." So anyway, Bob Stinson's warming me up, and I'm sitting there and I'm getting heated up pretty fast, like normal. And this bullpen must have been 20 feet high. There's no possible way you could throw a ball out of this joint, but I found one. Anyway, I'm sitting there getting loose, and it's close quarters anyway. And these fans are just hanging over the rail, had beers and everything. It's packed. And for sure, I threw a pitch. It slipped out of my hands, just like there was goose shit on my fingers or something. And it just went flying. I mean, over the wall, over the guy's head out there that, all these guys having beers. It was like there was a loose Scud missile up there somewhere. And so Stinson, he lifts his mask up and he starts, grinning and laughing at me. He throws both of his hands up. What happened? I said, shit, I don't know. 5 seconds later, our bullpen's getting, just bombarded, like parachutes of beer and hot dogs and everything, and popcorn and everything else. And it's getting filled up really quick. And so we all had to dive into the pillbox right there. And so, Galen goes down and says, "What the hell's going on down there?" He says, "What?" And Doug Bird answers the phone. He says, "Well, I think Country let go of a ball, and it went up in the fans and must have hit somebody." He said, no shit. He said, well, is Country ready? And he said, hey, Country, you ready? And I said, yeah, I'm ready. Shit. He said, because you can't use the pen because everybody's just still throwing stuff down, you know. So I guess somebody got drilled. And sure enough, you know, 2 minutes later, Whitey calls down. Whitey never calls down to the bullpen. He said, Birdie answers. He said, Birdie, what the hell's going on? He said, I guess Country drilled somebody down here. He says, put Country on. And so Whitey says, hey, you, Airhead, you loose? And I said, yeah, I'm loose. He said, hey, okay, I tell you what, when I go out there and I touch that third baseline, you think you can jump that fence? And I said, yeah. He said, well, your key is when I hit the third base line, you jump that fence and don't stop at the gate. Jump the fence and go on out to the mound. I said, I got you. So anyway, Whitey comes out about a minute later to get, you know, Gurr off the mound, and I come into the game, and sure enough, these fans are all standing over there. There's probably 20,000 still standing. They're not sitting, they're standing, you know. The whole right field side is. Anyway, I make it out there, and I got pelted a little bit. So I go out the mound, and Whitey's standing there with his commander stance. He's got his hands in his pocket in the front, and he's chewing. He's kind of snickering. He said, now, what the hell did you do to get us all in this kind of shit? And I said, well, it's like I had goose shit on my fingers, and the damn ball just sailing up there, and I guess I must drill somebody. and sure enough, you know, I looked up in the stand, there's this gurney up there carrying somebody out, you know. So, you know, he says, you know, get us off the field. I said, no problem. See you later. So, you know, him and Buck were out there, Buck Martinez, you know, and Buck was laughing too. You know, of course, right now when I'm taking my warm-up pitches, you know, the stands are starting to move and start to stand up a little bit and they keep moving toward what they're doing is they're spreading the word. They're saying, you know, there's an asshole on the mound out there. He just drilled somebody. So it's louder and shit, you know. I'm just kind of snickering, you know. So I get the out. You know, I come in, and Galen says to me, since I hadn't much work, he said, Country, you want another inning? I said, hell yeah, why not? So I go back out there, you know, after we don't score. I go back out. You know, I get a 3-up, 3-down inning. That's cool. But, you know, when I was warming up again, now it's like 3/4 of the stadium. There's an asshole on the mound out there. You know, and it was worse. So anyway, you know, I had some stuff thrown at me, I guess, from the dugout when I was coming into the dugout. It had reached the box seat, you know, that I was, hey, there's the asshole. So anyway, I go up, and it's in the 8th inning, and so I take my uniform up, and I go up the runway and take my uniform off, and there's like 3 or 4 guys up there. And Dennis Langer's up there, Jim Wolford's up there, Jim Coburn's up there, and 2 clubhouse guys and me. And I jerk all my stuff up, just throw it anywhere I want to throw it. And so I'm going to go grab the spread because, you know, I'm just going to start eating some of this stuff. So I'm sitting there, and Bill Beck comes in. He's our traveling secretary. He's dressed to the hilt, you know, coat and tie and all that. And everybody's over there, and he says, and Jim Colburn said, Country, did you mean to throw that ball up in the stands? I said, hell no. So Bill Beck comes in, and he was up at the top, you know, and so he comes all the way down. I said, hey, Country, how you doing? It's fine. He said, hey, I got a question for you. I said, shoot. He said, hey, did you mean to throw that ball? Did you mean to let that ball get away from you or something, you know? And I said, no. He said, are you sure? And I said, no. He said, well, that's good enough for me. He said, let me tell you what happened. I said, yeah, go ahead. He said, well, apparently that ball hit an older lady. I said, older lady. And, you know, and it knocked her out. You know, and I said, well, I had a little heat on it. I said, I had a little heat on it. You know, and he said, yeah, I did. And so that's who they were carrying out on the gurney. And I said, I could envision this. I'm sitting there, you know, envisioning this grandma sitting there with her grandson and just watching this game. She gets smoked and she's landing in his lap. Shit. So anyway, Bill said to me, he says, yeah, she's, you know, yeah, I was an older lady, and my Boy Scout and my ADD kicked in at the same time, you know, my Eagle Scout stuff. So I said, well, and everybody was listening to me. And I said, do you think I should sign a ball for her? everybody, you know, starts. They're not laughing. They're howling. And Bill and Beck just kind of looked at me and just kind of shrugged his shoulder and walked back up to the
Did you
lived.
She lived. Okay. Oh, that is. Did you actually sign a ball for her, or was that did that just go away?
No,
right
he went away. I said, well, I wouldn't sign a ball for her. Shit. What the hell?
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
a good old country boy, you got to give her something. When you want to stick a dynamite?